Hey guys, so just to explain what's going on in this video, I had some technical difficulties when I was shooting my video with Mr. Garrison, and we only recorded the audio, so that's all I've got for this video. This video is going to be audio only. Not my normal thing, but here you guys go.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jared Poirier, and welcome to my movie review show where I talk about movies.
On today's show, of course, we have a very special guest, my evil twin, the only YouTuber who I've ever had guest starring on my channel, Mr. Garrison Newkirk. So, Mr. Garrison, why don't you tell us what you do, my man?
I sit here and I poop all day.
Okay.
It's the truth. That's all I do. I just wake up, I go poop, and I go back to bed.
And sometimes you make movie reviews.
That too.
Every once in a while.
Why am I here?
I believe that you're here to talk about Kill Bill Volume 2?
Oh.
Okay. Thank God. Okay, we're in the right place.
Okay, because I was confused on why I was here.
Well, anyways, welcome to the show, Mr. Garrison. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Garrison?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am Mr. Garrison Newkirk, Mr. Garrison for you all, and I do host the Mr. Garrison Film Reviews page, and Flicks with the Dicks is a program you find every single Sunday night at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as myself, Tubby, Brady, and a special guest, whoever the hell that may be, come on the show and we just talk about movies, news, lists, topics, shenanigans, farting, you name it, it's all there for you. It is one of those shows where it is X-rated, R-rated, whatever you want to say, that goes against the odds of everything when it comes to film podcasts. We just do our own rules while discussing films. The only thing that we do not accept on the show is twerking. That is it.
No twerking.
No twerking. That is the number one rule. No twerking.
Flicks with the dicks, not flicks with the twerks.
Exactly.
And yeah, I've been on that program a couple times. It is super fun. I definitely recommend checking it out. I watch it pretty much every single Sunday if I'm near Wi-Fi. So
He's the only guest I enjoy on the show.
that is not true. All right. Anyways, so let's stop talking about all that crap. We are here to talk about Kill Bill Volume 2. An excellent film, one that I think both of us really enjoy. One that both of us have seen many, many times, and one that I actually think, and this is going to be probably a point of contention in this here video, but I personally think that this film is better than Kill Bill Volume 1. Mr. Garrison, what do you think about that?
Why? Why? Okay, but anyways, folks, Kill Bill Volume 2, I don't really need to explain everything. You already saw Orenishi, you saw Vanetta Green. Now these are the three main people left. You got Bud, Ellie Driver, and Bill alone. And this is that film where it is the curtain call. It is that topping on the cake, the whipped cream that you put on a strawberry shortcake or whatever you want to say. This is that movie where you finally get the build-up after everything that you see transpired in the first movie. This is that movie where you continue seeing flashback motion, and this is that movie where you see the continuing story. So a lot of things happen in this movie. You get flashback sequences of to how the bride became who she is, her training, to the events where you see her facing off against Bud and Ellie, to where you see the whole sequence of Bill.
Yeah.
So, simply put right there.
Pretty good summary.
It is a good summary, and the film itself, a lot of things are explained, and a lot of things are really showcased really, really well. But one thing about the movie that really started this off was the actual wedding sequence before the catastrophe happened. I never say that word, catastrophe. That is the first right there.
All right, so let me just explain why I love this movie so much. And over the first movie, I actually think that this movie has a lot more backstory. It gives us a lot more information. We end up finding out a lot of things that were kind of hidden from us in the first movie. Those things are revealed to us here in the second movie, and everything starts to piece together. And rather than the first movie, which is just basically a balls to the wall action film, and I do enjoy that. I like a lot of sword fights and some of that well choreographed brutal action in films. But this movie, just the story and the way that everything's revealed was very intriguing to me. So that's why I love this movie. And yeah, we find out about the wedding that actually went down. We find out what actually happened there, and the fact that it wasn't even the wedding yet. It was a wedding rehearsal that actually got attacked. We find out everything about how Uma Thurman's character, the bride character, is actually trained, and everything that she goes through. Yeah, we learn about her master, and we learn about where she goes to train and all of that type of stuff. I really enjoy getting that backstory there. And of course, there's the big twist in this movie. I don't even really want to necessarily reveal it right now, but there's one thing that, of course, you've been asking that question pretty much ever since the very first scene of these films, and you're asking, is the kid alive? So that element definitely comes in.
That's one. There's a difference between both of the Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. Well, Volume 1 is obviously straightforward with action. It's the whole balls to wall action. This one falls more on storytelling. So I can see where you are saying about this. So, and you are right. This movie does fall more back on storytelling, and you get a lot of questions answered that you had in the first movie. And you get all that backstory that you wanted answered in this movie, and it was actually showcased really, really well.
Yeah.
And I was quite thrilled with all the answers I was given. I was thrilled with the backstory that was going on. The brutal wedding sequence, the wedding rehearsal alone before the actual hell broke loose, to where you get the training sessions between the bride and Pai Mei. He was a brutal master. He really brutal, but all that paid off to how she became who she is. And to there, leading up to, well, her confrontations with Bud and Ellie. I'm just going to keep the two together because the fights happen in pretty much the same place, which is Bud's RV, was it? It's an RV?
Yeah.
I think it's an RV. And with this movie alone, you see the confrontation, the fight between Bud and the bride, and let's just say Bud ended up getting somewhat the bigger hand over her for the time being.
Since we're talking about Bud, can I just take over for 1 second here?
Oh, floor is yours.
All right, so this movie introduces Bud, and he is one of my favorite characters in these films. Bud is played by Michael Madsen. He is, of course, Bill's brother, and I just love this character a lot. This character seems really real to me. He seems like a character that we would see in real life. He could be pretty much anyone's brother, anyone's kind of old uncle that lives in an RV. And the thing that I really love about this character, he drops one line in this movie that pretty much to me sums up these entire series of movies, and that is, that woman deserves her revenge, and we deserve to die. Of course, then he does shoot her in the chest with a shotgun blast full of rock salt, and then he buries her alive, but of course that message is still there. So definitely love that character of Bill.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Nice.
Fuck. Okay, one.
Nice. Nice.
Definitely love that character of Bud.
Give this guy the Nobel Peace Prize. Give him the gold medal.
So that character is excellent, and there's quite a few other pretty fun characters in this movie. We also have, of course, Ellie in this movie that takes on the bride. So did you want to go into her character for us a bit here, Gary?
Well, for Ellie, here's the thing, though, I like to call her. For her particular nickname, she's known as the California Mountain Snake. You want to know what my nickname for her is? I like to call her the Bitch.
No, that's a fair name.
It is a fair name because that name alone represents who she is. The Bitch.
I totally agree.
So there you go. But you learn a lot. You learn a lot more about her for who she is. She's obviously a badass, one eye, and the question is, how the hell did she end up with that? Well, there you go. She was also a student of Pai Mei, and basically she called him something that you shouldn't have said, and it was the biggest regret. So Pai Mei popped her eyeball out just like that, and don't call somebody a rugged old fool.
And don't fucks with my boy Pai Mei.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. And lesson learned. Now, let me just talk about Ellie for a second, and especially the confrontation between her and the bride. To me, it was the best scene in the whole entire movie. Not only the whole entire action was choreographed so freaking awesomely. Is that a real word? Awesomely.
I'll take it. It's a word.
I'll say
Hang on. We're gonna ask the judges. Judges, is it a real word? Awesomely. The judges are saying it's a real word, Gary. You're good. You're good. You may proceed.
Good. I bribed them to
Gary,
take the side.
you may proceed awesomely.
I may proceed awesomely. But let me just tell you what you want to know. To me, the best shot in the whole film was.
What is that?
Both have their swords. They're just staring at each other, and you got the suspense building up, and you're thinking to yourself, in that split second, are these two going to slice each other's necks? Are they going to stab each other? What the hell is going to happen?
Are they going to kiss each other?
Ooh, I like that. I like this guy's way of thinking. I like this way of thinking.
Some of our viewers might be thinking that during this review. You know, the sexual tension.
I like that.
Building.
I like that. Dropping stuff on the floor now. But all of a sudden, you then realize after that happened, oh, bye-bye, other eye.
Yeah, exactly. Such a good scene. Actually, okay, thank you, because I definitely have something to tie into that. So another thing that I love about this movie, and since I was talking about earlier how I think that this movie is actually better because it's not just an action film, there's a bunch of moments in this movie where we expect that we're going to get pretty much an awesome action scene. Swords are going to get crossed, we're going to get some ninja kicks in, and then the scene just kind of suddenly ends, and it's like, oh shit, like that was crazy. One big one is when the bride is facing down Ellie, and they pull out their swords, and they're about to have an awesome battle, and then the bride just plucks out her other fucking eye, and it's like, well, that's done. So, yeah.
Talk about abrupt.
Holy shit. Anyways, yeah, that was excellent. And then, well, I guess we might as well get into kind of the ultimate spoiler territory here. This is going to be a spoiler review. I don't know if we really want to talk about this movie without spoiling some stuff, plus pretty much everyone's seen this. What do you think, Gary? Can we do some spoilers here at the end, or what?
I don't see why not. I'm sure everybody's seen the Kill Bill movies.
We've all seen Kill Bill. If you haven't, don't watch this part, because it turns out that the kid's alive.
Yeah.
So
that was right there. That's the main part that you wonder, is that what the hell happened to the kid? Because the thing is, in the first movie, it was unraveled that, oh shit, the kid probably died because her mother got brutally shot and she ended up in a coma. But it turned out she was alive. Yeah. And she was under Bill's wing for the whole entire time, and she didn't even realize until they finally came face to face.
Yeah, and this is revealed. What do you say? Like halfway into the second movie, something like that, and it just totally, totally recontextualizes like everything that you've seen up to that point. It's just all been about like that revenge, and then all of a sudden, like the kid's alive, like. Is she meant to repair her relationship with Bill? But, like, no, this is war. Like, obviously, she still has to try to kill him, right?
Now, at first, I'm going to be completely frank here. At first, I was not really a fan of their final confrontation. Why? Because I was not liking that particular build-up, especially the whole entire action sequence.
Fair. Let's hear it. But
rewatching it again, I realized in this whole entire scene alone, it's not as bad as I thought it was at first.
Well, that's why I'm really glad that you brought that final scene up, Gary, because there was one thing that I wanted to say about that scene, and it was something that I was discussing with Jerome earlier, and that's just the sheer fact that if you view those two films as like one experience and you actually watch them back to back, by the time you get to that final scene, you don't really want to see a sword fight. You don't really want to see an awesome action scene. Basically, you just want that conflict to be resolved, and you just want it to be over. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Gary, I wanted to thank you so much for being on my show again, brother. and I look forward to our collaborations in the future.
Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time.